I'm going as fast as I can, woman. These things take time.
We've only got 11 minutes.
Something that's been on my mind for a while is the split between story-driven cartoons and episodic ones. In my opinion, every cartoon should be unique and choose a way in delivering their vision that suits it, but sometimes this just doesn't happen. Not only that, but I think people end up preferring story-based ones towards ones that are just comedic or don't take stories seriously.
Oh, tell me the story!
I realize this because a lot of shows that I like and still miss are ones that people don't really talk about much, and many of them just don't have lore or character development. So to a lot of people, it's not worth their time. So you might ask, is there a bias towards cartoons with stories? It's tough to say. I can only say based on my own experiences and what I've noticed. But I do know was that there was a time when I was in high school, my cousin's older friends were starting to get back into cartoons. They were, well, at the moment, they're in their early 30s. So we were talking about shows, and a lot of the ones that came up were Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Regular Show, but no love for Uncle Grandpa or Clarence or Teen Titans Go even. It feels like most people who enjoy animation have come to the conclusion that they can be more than simply entertaining children. But in order to justify watching it, some adults need the cartoons have lore, character development, or touch on mature subject matter in order to be taken seriously. What I feel, it's like a cartoon that's just made to be crass, dumb, wacky, goofy, or cartoony for cartoon's sake aren't being taken seriously.
Hey, at least I'm not all keyed up to watch a kid's show.
I'll have you know that Duck-tective has a big mystery element and a lot of humor that goes over kids' heads.
But that's just it. I don't really like cartoons because they have lore. Sometimes that's why I don't like a show. I'd be lying if I told you that my main reason for tuning into shows was because that they had overarching stories. They were just fun experiences. If anything, that's what turned me off from Adventure Time. I remember liking the show when I was younger, but it developed into something that went way over my head when I was just a high schooler. So when the episode Breezy happened, I dropped the show. Steven Universe, however, was something that I caught from the beginning, and I wanted to see till the very end. However, what separates Adventure Time from Steven Universe for me is that a lot of the elements that I liked in Season 1, we still had in other episodes. This consistency and balance between dramatic moments and more offbeat, leisurely moments and instances of humor, I sadly can't say Starversus did the same, because it was never meant to do the same, you know? Starversus was something I came into and liked because it was a comedy. It was an action comedy. It was something that didn't have a deep plot or just an overarching one. And I had no issue with that. I didn't think every show had to be like that, and Starversus was initially a breath of fresh air because that wasn't what it was. But it had a huge, blatant tonal shift down the road, and it turned into a story-driven show. And many of the elements and choices that they ended up doing turned me off from the show entirely. To me, I even stand to watch a whole show if I can be honest, but it definitely stings because I wanted to see it to the end, but I just couldn't muster up the feeling. When I see other people who have kept up with the show talk about the direction that it ended up taking, I'm shocked with the decisions that they made, but not surprised that it didn't stick the mark. And for what, Star Code to be canon? Now, am I saying that all shows that are serialized are not good? No. OKKO is something that I fell in love with from beginning to end. It set me on a ride. But I enjoyed the more wacky episodes that didn't have anything to do with lore just as much as the story that it gradually told. Sometimes you don't want an adventure. Sometimes you just want your characters to laugh and goof off. There's still good animation coming out, but a lot of it is story-based, and I have to really set aside time to get invested in it. Not because I don't want to get invested in it, but everything requires an amount of time that I just don't have. Now, there is some love for Clarence as I write this, but let's not kid ourselves. A lot of people avoid the show because of the art style, thinking that it was just another gross out show, or some controversy about the creator that I'm not going to get into. None of those elements took away from the fact that Clarence was a wonderful show, okay? It wasn't a gross out show, it didn't insult your intelligence. It was a comfy show that actually captured the vibe of being a child, and everything good and bad about it, while telling these stories in such a way that adult viewers tapped into their inner child while watching. We had all-star episodes like Dinner Party, Dollar Hunt, Zoo, Pilot Expansion, Dreamboat, Rise and Shine, Average Jeff, The Forgotten, Mystery Girl, Lil Buddy, Freedom Cactus, Balance, and all of these are episodes that were early in the show's run. Shows that aren't as serious or story focused, I feel, stand out way more even now, but because they aren't the norm, they get treated more harshly. Uncle Grandpa is something that I will always say is hilarious, and Say Uncle is one of the best Steven Universe episodes, changed my mind.
Oh yeah, son, now that's what I'm talking about.
And let me just say, shows like Right Now Kapow and Pickled Peanut are unique as hell. While they don't have in visual pizzazz, they have sharp and witty writing in their own way. They were unique. Nothing else was like them, and I appreciate that. I realize this is a very unfair comparison, but it's jarring because I feel like when I was growing up in the 2000s, there was a strict divide between action shows and comedy shows. You were either one or the other. So each show took what it was doing and did it well. Or not so well, but this is for the sake of argument, get off my back. Now, I feel like a lot of these shows have to have a balancing act. They have to have some action, some comedy, some drama, some romance, some character depth, some social/political metaphors, and top off with a 5-star soundtrack. Not everyone can do that, and we shouldn't expect everyone to do that. We should respect the fact that this medium can give us original and memorable experiences, no matter how they choose to tell their story. I feel like once we diversify our tastes and embrace the balance of stuff that's out there, we can have a better time enjoying information and respecting it all the same. But at the same time, just the same man who unironically loves Teen Titans Go, so maybe don't want to take my advice. That's okay.
Damn, boy, he's sick!